Alright, so here today we got a pretty fun video to jump into and sort of talk about because guess what? It's that time of the year again. Yes, we got new treasures. It only took 6 months since the last time I talked to you, but we are back in business, baby. We got treasures. Today, we're going to talk about them all, which ones to build first, which ones are the best ones, and a major PSA. They accidentally broke the treasure system, or one treasure from the treasure system. If you plan on building this treasure, big PSA, maybe don't build it. Because again, it bricks the character low-key because the effects don't kick in. So hats off to Shift Up for the QA testing. Looks like an insane amount of players have been reporting this. Looks like it's been happening, so be aware. Like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. Here we go. So first up over here, we have 4 brand spanking new favorite items. Again, after 6 months, we have finally gotten our next batch over here. Let's be honest here, the last batch was actually very good. Whatever it is, Milk got just spoiled, I guess you could say. Over here, you had Helm, which picked up a really good one. Drake picked up a really good one. And Miranda, I think, was a solid one. I don't remember too much, but these two were crazy good. And this was just like God tier, so very, very decent round last time. The first one also was, Lapis was solid. You know, this wasn't actually bad either. This one, it doesn't look too crazy. It looks like they separated each one in different contents and such. So that's like a big thing that you have to deal with pretty much when it comes to this sort of set of new releases here. But out of 4 of them, only one of them so far is bugged. So please keep that in mind. I'm going to start with that in the video because I truly think that a lot of you will just skip around the video and completely miss this and then build this and then obviously have a bricked character until they fix it. So this is, again, if we go off of Shift Up's schedule of fixing things, it might be until like Friday next week or Wednesday next week, sorry, that you get this fixed. Just be aware. Or if it's an easy fix, you'll have it tonight. But today's already Thursday, so they don't really do anything until Sunday night. So you might have to wait. But pretty much what it looks like is this. These are the 3. They're all safe. Bay, Shafted on release again over here with the quirk of the not quirk, this is the wrong channel, of the favorite item. Pretty much though, when it comes to this, what broke? This is what broke over here. So we're gonna read through this and then I'll tell you what broke real quick. You can do it. Activates when the again when using the burst skill. Only affects if you're alive. Affects all allies. Proportionally shares the damage between like each other, pretty much, right? The damage taken continuously, then the defense goes up by 10% of the caster's defense. Now, what they changed it to is same thing, affects when using this over here. If self is alive, affects all allies, proportionally shares damage taken continuously. No changes, 10.30%, no changes. All they've added in the skill 1 over here, or phase 1 over here, is activates when performing full charge attacks, affects all allies except self, recovers 4% of the caster's final max HP. That's it. That's all they've added over here, which, not bad. It's pretty solid, ironically, but not bad. That's what it is, all right? Not bad. Now, what broke here? As you can see, this character has a proportional, right, share of the damage taken across the team. That is something this character constantly has. The second you upgrade the character and get the favorite item skill attached to it, you automatically lose the entire share. The share goes away. If you do that, so if you level her up and you use this favorite item, it will remove the entire share functionality. She will not have any damage sharing. And what happens is if a character takes damage, the whole point of Bay is keeping that Nikke alive because it proportionally splits that between other 4 decays. That's the whole point. It again is divided by now, right? Every Nikke on the team, they take that damage equally. In this case, if you upgrade it, it disappears. It doesn't exist. The buff goes away. This has been fact checked by like 30 different people on the official cord. It's been posted on the other cord and been fact checked there as well. And then players are now memeing Shift Up pretty much, saying, wow, great QA testing. So for right now, please be aware if you choose to build this, it may be bugged, probably be bugged for you. All right, there's no difference. So plan accordingly. Because of this proportionally shared thing, it just deletes itself pretty much. And your Nikke will just take damage and Bay won't do anything about it because the entire proportional function is gone. And that's like a very big part of her kit, keeping your team alive. Please keep that in mind. Now, beyond that, is this a good one though, regardless? So just don't build it right now. Wait till it's fixed, then build it. Activates when using burst skill, only if self is alive, affects self. Proportionally shares the damage continuously. Nothing changes. Activates when full burst ends, affects self, continuously recovers the cover HP. Equal to 2.88% of the caster's final max HP every 1 second for 5 seconds. Activates when entering burst stage 1 and self's cover has been destroyed. Affects self, recovers 20% of the caster's final max HP. Which is, again, pretty solid. Over here, they've added an entirely new function. Rebuild cover is confirmed. Get ready for that over here for Bay. Affects self if self's cover has been destroyed. So Bay is picking up a nice feature here. With 20% rebuild cover, activates once per battle. Then affects self over here, max HP. And then same thing's pretty much over here. Nothing crazy. So that's what they did. Is this a good one? Yeah, it's a very good one. But it's strictly PvP. I think that's what Bay was originally released for. I'm going to check Prime real quick and just check where they are when it comes to rating this. Or rating, Bay as itself. I think she is strictly PvP originally, right? That didn't change. So she was good there, but she wasn't good elsewhere, which like made me cry because Bay has like the best design of the game. But sadly, she's PvP. I think they kept that idea going with her, and they kept that over here because she definitely is still remaining to be a PvP character. There's like no doubt about that. And yeah, she's S tier in PvP right now. This probably bumps her up to like SS tier in PvP. It's a very good one when it works, but it doesn't work right now. So don't build it if you're trying to build it. So if we're gonna say anything right now, this is bumped down to 4th place on our list because it's garbage in the context that it's broken. When it's fixed, though, I would definitely say this could be 2nd contender because if you play PvP, this is insane, right? It really is. Rebuild cover, shield and everything. Max HP, recover and all that. It's pretty freaking solid. So do what you will with that information, but again, right now it's bugged. Over here, Julia has picked up her buffs as well. So again, originally she had crit damage up by 24%, and that stacked up to 5 times and lasts for 15 seconds. She now has activates after landing 6 critical hits with normal attacks. So that was last bullet. Now it's 6 critical hits, normal attacks. That goes up 24%. That stacks up to 5 times and lasts 15 seconds. Over here, it activates after landing 8 critical hits with normal stacks, affects self. Over here, it deals 88% of final attack as additional damage. Over here, lands as a crit attack, deals... So if that lands as a crit attack, activate or affects the same target, deals 100% of final attack as additional damage, activates when entering battle, affects self, forcefully uses skill 1. Wow, okay. And that's this over here. Critical rate goes up by 26% for 10 seconds, but now it's critical rate, same thing, 26% 10 seconds, but also 20% attack for 10 seconds, and then normal attack crit rate goes up by 36.16% attack. Didn't we just get a crit Nikke? is that Eve buffer or something like that? She affects self. What did Eve do? She was attack up, ammo capacity up. Yeah, she was activated when landing 44 critical hits. That was what Eve did. So Eve had crit. Would you team this up with Eve and run this? Unironically, be somehow making a good team. Would you think that? Kind of cool. Yeah, they're doing some other crit thing over here. So they're buffing her up like that over here. So they kept the what is it? Affects 5 enemy units with the highest final defense, and now they did affects random enemies. Deals 544, same amount. Attacks sequentially. They added that attack sequentially for 5 times. And then when it's fully stacked, affects the same target. And that's 544% of final attack as damage. Yeah, so Julia originally wasn't really a good kit. I think that just makes her an okay kit. It doesn't like make her busted, but it makes her a solid kit. Right? Or no? Because unironically, would you not team this up with Mast and then team this up with Eve? I mean, she's not gonna like change a meta, but she's still pretty good, no? Can't be that this is a PvP thing, right? Huh. Okay, I have no idea. What I will say is this could work with Eve, but I don't think it's like, oh my god, you know? When you read Helms, you nutted pretty much, right? That's what happened. Yeah? That's like that's the TLDR. In this case, it's like it's pretty cool, but I don't think it's gonna like break a meta. She could be cool though. I don't know, would you use are these all PvP? Would you use this in PvP? Because I know Bay is 100% PvP. This is now PvP. This is Tove. And yeah, I already know that Tove is a crazy one, so I guess Tove only got the love here. So pretty much, I'll just read you the new one. So activates when performing 10 normal attacks, affects self. Your emergency crafted bullets reload 5.31% of your magazine, which is cool. Activates during emergency crafted bullets, affects all allies. The temporary modification in max ammo capacity goes up by 2, stacks up to 3 times, and lasts for 5 seconds. And this is the same now. Bottom here is the same. Phase 2. This is where it gets a little bit nut-worthy. So prepare your nuts. Here we go. So this is it over here. Affects all allies over there. It is Miracle of Makeshifts, attack up by 2.32% of the caster's attack. 2.32 of the caster's attack. But mirrors the stat count of temporary modification for 15 seconds. This is of temporary modification. This effect lasts for 10 seconds. This is 15 now. Over here, affects allies with a shotgun, all shotgun-wielding allies. Now it's 24.24% of the caster's attack. And then again, it mirrors the stat count of temporary modification now for 15 seconds. Not 10 seconds anymore, 15. So remember, you can keep this uptime very, 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 very well. Over here, only activates when temporary modification is fully stacked, affects all allies. Only activates when temporary modification is fully stacked, affects all allies. Critical rate goes up by an additional 7% continuously. Then it only activates when temporary modification is fully stacked, affects all shotgun-wielding allies. Attack speed goes up over here. So remember, the reason this is good is why? You're allowing her now to do everything quicker. You're allowing that 15-second stack to occur. It's gonna be freaking pretty solid. So at the end of the day, what's gonna happen here? You're gonna see Doro catch a very, 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 very sort of big, I guess you can say, buff here, especially with other things also. I think that we'll see. Let me make that statement just now. But for now, they're taking care of shotguns. Who knows if they keep that going in the future? We've said that before, and you know what happened. That 100% didn't work out. But for the most part, it should be a very, very, very good attack over here, or a good stack over here. So with what this stands as, it's a must use. It really is. Definitely a very, 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 again, big buff over here to Tove. And it does help out more than you think. Very much so. Again, activates in this over here, emergency crafted bullets. Everything in this kit is very solid. So yeah, so for the most part, unironically, if you were to look at this, I was reading this over one more time, you can just cap out over here at phase 2. Phase 3 isn't anything too crazy. At a point, you'll get it, yeah? But it's nothing too crazy. Mainly just focus over here at phase 2 and phase 1. Phase 3 is separate, but for the most part, it's still, whatever this is as a kit, it's still very, 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 very good. So keep in mind what you will with this one, but if you were to go and build these ones, it looks like Tove is definitely the highest one. I would say Bae second. Once her thing gets fixed, she is a very, very good one. And then maybe Julia, and then Polly, I guess. The only issue is Julia's like, when are you even running that comp crit, right, and such? If it's for PvP, then I guess. But Polly, I think, has some usability outside maybe PvP and such, but we'll see. Over here, favorite item, let's go. Skill 1, so again, 5 normal attacks, affects all allies. Same thing, nothing changes. The activated over here on the bottom. Activates when entering battle, affects self, police badge. Creates a shield equal to 100% of the caster's final max HP for 10 seconds. So a shield over there. We also get Indomitability. It's a very good PvP stat. For 5 seconds, removes the police badge, affects self. 40% of the caster's final max HP, you're creating a shield, which protects allies from damage, and that lasts for 10 seconds. It affects all allies. Attack goes up by 44.55% for 10 seconds. Yeah, so Indomitability and higher shield, a better shield, if you were to say. And then over here, it's 2 other allies, lowest HP for every 20 seconds with the lowest HP. So every 20 seconds is added, and lowest HP over here. Oh, yeah, with the lowest HP, with the lowest remaining HP, yeah. Defense over there, 23, same thing. 10 seconds, same thing. 10 shares that equally, same thing. And then activates when police badge ends. Affects self, continues to recover 5% of the caster's final max HP every 1 second for 5 seconds. Yep, that's, I think, a PvP as well. So they're all PvP, or is this not PvP? Equally shares the damage, and then you're creating the Indomitability earlier. You're also putting the shield up. You're recovering this too. Or is this like a solid bossing tankish character? Yeah, so they definitely cooked in the last one like much more. Now, it's not that it's bad or anything, but I think that they went for more of a... Some of these just scream PvP, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. But is this... Shield that creates that equally. Creates a shield, Indomitability. Yeah, so this could work for bossing as like a tanking thing, but I don't think you really need that. So I guess just PvP is strictly what she goes for. I guess that's what they want. Let me know what you think. For the most part, though, For the most part, though, I think that, yeah, it's Tove number 1. It would be Bay number 2 because it's a really good one, but it's just strictly PvP again. Julia has something to work with if you want to try that out with, like, that. I think Polly, so Polly and Julia are on the same tier, in my opinion. Like, they both can really work. Just gotta try them and see how they go. But Tove is definitely the clear winner, and this is just bugged right now, so that's the issue. But still, again, for PvP, it's gonna be, she's already S tier. That's gonna make her, like, probably double S in PvP and such. That's kind of what they're going to go for, so. Yeah. Let me know what you think. That's all I got here today, pretty much, but. Yeah. Would you say they did better last time, or would you say they did better this time? I'm curious here. These two were, like, crazy. Milk got conned, like, low-key. Yeah, Milk didn't do too hot. Miranda took her from B tier across the board to A tier across the board. Milk took her from D tier to B tier, so that's something. That's a jump. And then Helm was taken from where? Helm was taken from C tier to A tier. Or C, so basically CC and then A tier. She was taken to SS tier across the board, pretty much. And then SS and high deficit. And then Drake was taken from B tier to, like, SS tier bossing. Wonder how this one handled. Tove definitely, though, for shotgun comp. Yeah, it's a sexy one. So, I'm building Tove first. I think most of you are. You're literally using Doro, probably. If you're trying to do a crit comp, Mast and Eve could make some really sexy comps there. And then Polly could be for Boston, we'll have to see. But Bea, I can guarantee you that's like PvP, dude. That's PvP at its core, so. Let me know what you think, alright? Take care, have fun. I'll catch you later today or tomorrow.